Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores or estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I'm always looking for things that I think you guys might find interesting or that I personally like. And then I bring them home, try and find out as much as I can about them, and then tell you guys about them. So here's what I've got to say. I have this lovely little glass jug. I have to say it's quite small. It is it's pressed glass. You can see it's got essentially the little lid there for the kind of shape of the owl's head and possibly to pour as well. And it has two little impressed eyes. Kind of hard to make out like where the seam is. I think it's just about noticeable there. And a little bit on the back. A little bit there. You can feel it with your hand as well. So this essentially it's a two-part mold like that. And it is also, despite the size, quite a bit heavier than it looks. If I just measure it up. Again, it's a very tiny little thing. It's basically just a creamer. It should really have a sugar bowl to go with it. Unfortunately, I bought it for $3 in a thrift store. There's no sign of a sugar bowl. So it is about 3 inches across and about 3 inches high. And it's not going to be a little bit more, so it's maybe 3¼ inches with the extra beak in the front. Very, very small, very dainty, and I think it must have definitely been a creamer because you can literally you can pick it up and it's very nice to kind of grab it just there on either side of the two little horns. Basically pick up and pour like that, I think would probably be about right for it. It is exceptionally cute. I did the usual thing. Touch the top, touch the bottom, checking for any kind of chips or cracks. It's nothing, it's fine. It's lovely. Very, very, very pretty. And it is unfortunately completely unmarked. So obviously I've got it because it appealed to me in some way. And basically I picked it up and I was very surprised by the weight of it. And I thought it's very likely that it's going to be lead crystal. It's just incredibly nice as a little kind of a decor kind of a piece. And I will say this much, is that this one is fairly interesting because it is definitely lead crystal, but I'm just going to switch off my light for a second. Here we go. And I have my wonderful black light. And I hope this is really obvious, but this kind of glows blue. Like, I'll just say it there. It's a bit more extreme in the camera, I have to say. Like, it's possibly not quite as strong in person, but it glows quite deeply. You can see it there. There is, like, I mean, even just pull it back a little bit, you can see the strong blue fluorescence. Like, that ice blue really is something kind of spectacular. Now, I'll just switch the light back on. Come on, light. There we go. So, bear in mind, okay, that this is my new black light. It is a Convoy S2+. It is possibly the last word in very, very powerful handheld UV torches. It is super, super, super powerful, like to the point where I dare not shine it like that on my hand. You could very easily give yourself a sunburn with this thing. It does not screw around. It is incredibly powerful, and it makes like fluorescence really glow in a way I can't describe. So because of the weight of this and the very strong, like, this is such a strong bright blue fluorescence, like this has a lot of lead in it. Lead, by the way, is the color for does fluoresce very icy blue under a strong backlight. So the weight of it and the strong fluorescence indicates that this has quite a lot of lead in it, and that's kind of interesting. Like, is this actually something vintage? Because if it has a lot of lead, maybe it is designed just to be decorative. Maybe it's not designed to be used for anything. Obviously, like, we've known for a few decades now that having too much lead in something is generally considered to be a bad idea, you know? because, and we know this is a problem definitely with old American Brilliant cut glass. Anything that basically, any old glass that has a lot of lead in it, that's basically, they're not really food safe anymore. You know, the fact that the lead could actually leach out into whatever is in it is definitely a concern, and it does make me wonder if this is vintage or not. I have to say that my instinct is certainly that it is not vintage. I think it's contemporary, in spite of like the weight of it, knowing that it has a lot of lead in it. I think it made, you know, and there goes my light. I'll be right back. Okay, that's better. Sorry about that. I've been having technical difficulties with my light. It's, you know, something I gotta work on. I'm afraid I've only got the one light, and yeah. Anyway, so again, like I said, my gut instinct is that this is not vintage. This is something contemporary, and I think it's like, although it may seem like it might be good for being a creamer, you have to wonder maybe it's not intended to be used for that at all, because if it has a lot of lead in it, obviously it's not going to be considered food safe. But anyway, based on all that, do we know anything about who made it? And here's the thing. What we do know is that Blenko made a lot of these little owls with this little kind of honeycomb shape and the little round eyes. And this would have been these definitely would have been vintage. This would have been back maybe to the 1970s. And the problem is that these owls do not match this owl. It has a similar style. It is definitely not the same thing. Basically, I'm not even sure that this particular style of owl can be directly attributed to Blenko at all. I can just see a lot of them are definitely being attributed to Blenko, and I'm not really sure that's accurate. Like, you can definitely tell that these owls, which are, again, we're not sure if they're Blenko, maybe they are, these are definitely hand-blown, and the owl's eyes have been applied, whereas this one is a pressed glass item, and the eyes are very certainly just part of the actual mold itself, not these. Like, superficially similar, very much not the same thing. Like, now the other thing as well is that we get these ones that I think are definitely been confirmed to be Blenko, but they're like obviously also attributed to be Blenko. So I did some scanning around. I was basically looking around to see, could I find anything that looked like this that I could directly attribute to someone, even if it's not Blenko. Unfortunately, all I really got is this. And you can see this is definitely the same thing, but it's in blue. And this person is calling it vintage. We have a few other examples here, none again of the same kind of what we've got, so not really relevant. So this one is vintage. They're saying it's vintage. Again, I don't personally believe that. $20 on eBay. The base of the owl is made in a honeycomb pattern, maker unknown, and the width across is again $3. So we know that this is definitely the same one. It's just basically in a different color. Unusual, I have to say. I've been wondering, is it possibly anchor hawking or something? But to be honest, I think if it was, maybe I'd get a mark or something on the base. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do about this one. Like, it's a little bit too heavy to kind of be easy, like to make it easy to ship anywhere. I may put it up on eBay for maybe, you know, $10 to $15 plus shipping, just because I think it's quite nice. I think someone's probably going to like it quite a lot. Again, I'm pretty sure it's not vintage. I think it's going to be just a nice little decorative item, if anything. Not even sure if anyone's really going to want it. I will definitely give it a couple of months because it's so small. I'll see if somebody would like it. Honestly, you never know. And it is very small and cute, if nothing else. So there we go. Apologies again for the technical issues. It's just something I'm going to have to work on. So here's my small joyful thing for the day. I hope you guys like it as well. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.